Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 16.
No after party this episode, and we're almost at the end of this leg of the Married at First Sight. You know they do a Where Are They Now, and we are going to follow that as well. But you know what I hate, Blair?
What?
I hate a bad villain. If there's anything I hate a bad villain. We do this show called The Traitors, right? Mm-hmm. And I think in the beginning of the season that we did, Blair was kind of leaning more towards the faithful side. I was leaning more on the traitor side in the sense of who I'm rooting for.
Right.
I like a good villain,
yes.
right? And what we about to see is two terrible villains. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Let's go.
All right. So Michelle is trying to talk to Madison in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Madison says that she likes David, and David says, I like her. From outside the bathroom.
David. Okay, brother.
She's telling Michelle that the connection is there, but they haven't explored it. Mm-hmm. And she didn't know that the text was meant for her. David keeps chiming in saying she had no clue.
She had no clue.
No clue. No clue. No clue.
and look, Michelle is looking like, what is going on here? Okay.
She's done and says, F these people. I'm done talking to them.
What is your thoughts just on that alone?
David, I thought you were asleep.
Oh, no, he was asleep.
Why you come out the room and try to manage the conversation between Michelle and Madison? I wanted to see the conversation go down. Okay?
I didn't. The reason why I didn't want to see the conversation go down, the minute that Madison was basically like, are you going to come in guns a-blazing or not? I'm like, that's not your line right there. Your role in this, you are the mistress. You are the one that was basically cheating with your friend's husband. Right. So it's like your role should be more volatile. It should not be on some like, what do you want from me type of thing. It's like, it's weird to me. You get what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
So Emil and Camille check on Michelle. David is somewhere laughing.
Yeah.
Camille thinks that it's a nervous laugh. Michelle is mad because he kept interrupting the conversation. And, they decided, hey, they wanted to pursue things. Michelle says, I hope that she likes living in his parents' basement.
Wait a minute.
He's sending these eat you up texts, and they're wondering, did he eat her? They both portrayed themselves as friends to either Michelle or Allan. Well, Michelle's stuff is packed, and Mem starts packing because they rode together. And Michelle says that Madison didn't even apologize.
Well, here's the thing about it. When it comes to Michelle, a lot of things can be true at the same time. You don't care so much about the whole David thing. Let's just put that to the side, right? And the whole thing that David disrespected the marriage, you don't care about that, right? But it's the fact that, hey, you've been lamenting to Madison, Karla, Camille, and Mem, at least on the scenes we've seen on camera, right? And during those times, Madison is sitting there basically like, girl, basically helping you find something that she stole. And I can see why you will feel betrayed by her more so than betrayed by David. And in a way, I can agree with that more than you feeling bad for Allan. I don't even think she feel bad for Allan, in my opinion. I think it's just more about the like, wow, I thought we was like a group. I thought we were part of this Married at First Sight universe, that we are, even if we don't have husbands for life, we at least have a friendship and a bond for life because we've been through an experience. But it's like Madison definitely corrupted that, and I can see why Michelle would be mad at that.
Yeah, so Madison does a diary cam. She wants to talk to Allan. She knows he's hurting, and she does care for him. She feels awful. She hopes he can understand and be able to forgive her someday.
Why? Like I don't understand. Why do you wish that you could talk to Allan? You had a chance to talk to Allan when David talked to him.
You should have been the one to break the news.
Yes.
Not David.
And this whole like, I wish he can forgive me one day. Like, this is the thing I don't understand as a villain, right? Because obviously Madison and David are the villains.
Right.
Hey, when you was out sneaking around 2-3 o'clock in the morning, knowing that Allan is waiting up for you, knowing that Allan wants a marriage with you or some type of chemistry with you, you wasn't feeling bad then. Because it showed us throughout the season you was coming in 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, sneaking and things of that nature, talking about tacos, a taco place that been closed since 11 o'clock, and you coming in at 4 o'clock. So it's like, why feel bad now? I'd rather you accept your role as the villain and basically say what you said to David a couple episodes ago on, we didn't come here for friends. We came here for a connection, and I found it, and I'm not sorry about it. I'd be like, well, That's the villain I like to see right there. Beside this whole, like, I hope he can forgive me. Why?
My thing is, I'm whole bent up on the thing of him understanding her perspective. What perspective are we trying to understand, Madison? That you're selfish?
Yes.
like that you went for this man who was supposedly your husband's friend or your friend's husband. Like, this is like really, in Karla's words, grimy.
Yeah, it's
this
grimy.
is dirty. It is. And there is no understanding that's going to be had. You're selfish. That's about it.
And here's the thing about griminess, Blair. I don't know about you, but I'm happy. You know what protects me from griminess?
What?
ADT, right? ADT protects us. Listen, we ain't got no sponsor with ADT, and I don't understand why. I'm not even gonna hold you. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I was lost. What happened with Thomas and Camille?
They did an ADT commercial. And then she asked what his thoughts are now since he was Team David.
Wait a minute.
Thomas says that he can't defend David anymore. He feels foolish for defending David. He can't take what he says as the truth anymore. Camille can't believe this is the first time that they admitted to liking each other.
Yeah.
And Thomas says that that's a message when you're going back and forth with somebody that you've had those conversations before. And Camille agrees the text made it seem like it was something more intimate than just having feelings for each other.
Listen, Thomas had to make sure he come clean and make sure that he let his wife know he's not Team David, because during that game he wrote his name down.
Right.
So we need to make sure that birds of a feather don't flock together, and you don't see the logic in his moves.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So Thomas, good job on trying to clean it up a little bit, you know?
So David and Juan talk. Juan tries to give him some breakfast, see if he wants some coffee.
Yeah.
He asks David what his next steps are. David doesn't know. Juan tells him you just got to be tactful. Juan doesn't think that the problem is that they like each other. It's just the way that y'all went about it. You got to own up to things, give Allan some time, and make sure you apologize to him.
Yeah.
Allan trusted you, and you want someone like Allan on your team. Then pursue things with Madison if you want, but y'all are really starting on a bad note. Juan couldn't see how he could be around David and Madison after this type of situation, because he's kind of like, what are y'all really doing here? David feels like he should take himself out of the situation if people don't want to be around them. And Juan says there will be challenges with trust if this is how y'all got together.
What are your thoughts?
I'm totally with Juan. I'm just like, y'all got together based off of lies and deceit, and you expect to have this happy relationship. It can happen. It happens sometimes. But the fact that y'all have done it to previous partners, there's very much a high possibility you would do it to each other.
Yeah.
So, because the thing is, it's not like there's any history with them. Like, you went after this person that you didn't know. You didn't have to go over, and you didn't have to go for them. I think that it's one thing if you cheat and you're married at first sight marriage with somebody on the outside. That's awful. You're supposed to be committed to the process. But to cheat with somebody in the process who also has a spouse is like, y'all just didn't try. Y'all tried to be difficult. Y'all tried to be dirty. Pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with Juan's advice. I will say this though, because we all live in the real world, even though it may not be right. It's just reality. That, guess what? There are a lot of stories that have to do with married couples where, hey, she cheated on her man and he cheated on his woman, and they got together and they live happily ever after, right? And that's just the reality of it. Sometimes when you got David over here talking to Juan, and Juan is like, I don't even know if I can really be around you like that. And then eventually we're going to see Madison conversation with some of the ladies, and they like, I don't really know if I can be around you. Sometimes that can build a, like, we is all we got.
Yeah,
and
that's against the world,
and that can make a bigger and better bond. And I'm probably gonna do a deep dive on that, because even though it is wrong, I'm just like, I'd rather y'all stay together. Rather y'all two bad people be together and things like that, so y'all don't corrupt no more good people and things of that nature. Make y'all little community and stay wherever y'all at.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? But unfortunately, the way the real world works is that, hey, couples like this sometimes stay together. And I don't know if they will stay together, because something about Madison when they was in front of the professionals, the experts made me go, She didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We will get there. Let's go, Blair.
David goes to talk to Madison. They hug each other. She wants to talk to people in smaller groups to explain things. She can't help how she feels. She wanted to talk to Michelle to see if she's in a place to listen. David tells her that Michelle already left, but he didn't want Madison to be left there just alone, hanging by herself. David wants to show Madison all the good that he has to offer, and Madison says that she did see the heartfelt side of him. He was able to be vulnerable with her, and that's what he likes about her. Madison wanted to make things work with Allan. She says she did try, and David tells her, I saw you trying.
What?
She gave her all, and they couldn't fight it anymore. Madison says she wants to develop their friendship first. They're not just going to jump into dating. They are, of course, still married to other people.
Wait a minute. First of all, they are. Why are you trying to explain yourself? Do they know they are the villain? like what? Like it's almost like you want to be able to do anything you want. You want to be able to do all the bad and still want to have a good reputation.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. You know what you did was bad. That's why you were sneaking. That's why you was lying. So stand in it. Say, what are you gonna do about it? You ain't want me. And the thing that I don't understand about David, first of all, let's start from the beginning. The audacity of y'all to have a conversation in the bed that Allan was just sleeping in less than 12 to 24 hours ago is kind of crazy, right? David just laying on his side of the bed. Michelle's there on her side of the bed. I mean, Madison, rather, is on her side of the bed. I'm like, y'all have audacity. I like the audacity, but the fact that y'all try to keep y'all good reputations is weird to me. Also, the whole idea of the, what else happened in the scene? With the, there we go. David talking about, I know you tried. And things like that. I'm like, no, David, the person that you should be relating to is Allan. Yeah. Because Madison is basically Allan's Michelle.
Correct.
To your marriage. You get what I'm saying? If we go throw a parallel. So this whole thing of Madison tried, Madison did not try. The same way as Michelle did not try. That is not a reason or an excuse for David to step out of his marriage, because truth be told, listen here, if y'all been following us from episode 1, I feel like Michelle should not be mad at David as much as she should be mad at the experts for pairing her with David. I told y'all that from the jump, right? So the idea that David could be like, it's okay, you tried. I'm like, no. You can't be Allan's friend, and you couldn't be around Allan during all this time to say that Madison tried. Allan over here talking about he go cut off a toe.
Yeah.
Allan over here talking about he go get Invisalign. Do it for you. There's nothing wrong with Invisalign, but do it for you. Allan over here buying $3,000 worth of clothes. Allan over here playing Twister. Allan over here, like Allan over here on a 2-drink minimum. So I don't understand the whole Madison trying thing, but it is what it is.
Yeah. The amount of mental gymnastics that we see Madison do this episode tells me that this lady is not based in reality.
No, she's not.
She is based in her own world, to where her happiness and her wants and her feelings come first over everybody else. Yeah. And David, I would say, is the exact same way, but he's a little bit more comfortable in just being and doing whatever he wants. Madison feels the need to get people in small groups and explain to them and help them see her side and all this type of stuff. Madison, you can't explain your way out of whole activities.
No, you can't.
It is what it is at the end of the day. And I understand that she fell for this guy, but y'all were snakes about it. Y'all were sneaky snakes about it. Also, her whole thing about wanting to develop a friendship with David first, this just tells me, Madison, you were supposed to be in a point to where you were ready to be married. Now you're looking at this person that you have feelings for. You don't even want to be in a relationship with them. Where is this girl? Like, is she in Mars somewhere?
No, it's
like,
not.
It's crazy to me. And I say that to sum it up, to basically say, like, you want to be friends with this guy. You pretty much want to be friends with benefits with this guy. I don't even know why she came on here to get married, because it doesn't seem like she wants to take anybody seriously. She's out here for a good time, and Allan wasn't wrong when he was pretty much saying she was a good time girl. So,
but the thing about it is, what she's doing is, by saying all that, it's not that she's on Mars. She's trying to, she's a villain trying to read the script of a good person. And she's trying to make it seem like, me and David just had a connection, and, right now we're just taking the snow and we are getting to know each other as friends. I'm like, why?
Yeah. Like, why blow up your marriage for a friendship? Like, clearly it's more than that.
If you're going to blow up your marriage as the villain, you should be like, I like David. F what y'all think. If y'all got something to say, I don't care. I ain't trying to hear it. Like it literally makes no sense.
Yeah.
Any of this. But
So Karla comes in the kitchen. She had a great night's sleep. So she's trying to figure out what all happened last night.
I'm not gonna hold you. I think Karla been high the whole trip. I ain't gonna hold you.
So Madison fills Karla in on what happened. Camille is sitting there as well. Madison said that she has feelings for David. They go to the gym. They hang out on the weekends. They've enjoyed each other's company.
Yeah.
They're friends first, but feelings did start to develop. And Karla says, well, that's kind of hard to hear because Michelle opened up to us in this girl group. There should have been an honest conversation so that way, Madison, you can live your best life and Michelle doesn't have to wonder and spin herself crazy about this text message.
Yeah.
Karla would never do that. Madison didn't think the text was for her because they weren't at that level. And Karla tells her, if it's been developing, you should have told her earlier. It's uncomfortable that she went out with Karla went out with them. And she says, respect is important in all relationships. This is grimy. This is dirty. It affects the group, and half of the group left. No one feels good right now. Karla asks, so are y'all a couple? Is this y'all's honeymoon? Like, what's going on?
Okay, Karla.
And Madison says that she wanted to get through these 8 weeks before looking at those feelings. It's an elevated friendship, and she doesn't even know if it could be something more.
Elevated friendship? What is that?
Friends with benefits.
My goodness, man.
Like, why would you blow up your marriage for an elevated friendship?
I have no
this girl is not here with us.
I have no problem with you blowing up your marriage.
Okay.
I'm not over here trying to criticize Madison for blowing up her marriage. Blow it up.
Okay.
Stand by it, though.
Yeah.
Like, say, because I don't F with Allan.
But the thing is that because Madison lied from the beginning, she said she wanted to be married, but I don't think she really wanted to be married. And it could have been that she didn't want to be married to Allan, but the girl doesn't even want to have a serious relationship with the person she likes. So,
but villains be lying. That's why I'm like, go ahead and lie. Just say like, I want what I want. I said I wanted marriage. I lied. But my thing is this whole thing of trying to make it seem like it's the thing that I'm not liking, and maybe it's just the tone of it.
Okay.
I don't like how Madison trying to make it sound like it's innocent. And it's everything but that.
Correct.
And I'm like, just stand in the guilt of it. Don't try to have these little like segments of where you're talking to people trying to give your side of the story. You know it's dirty. You know it's grimy. And just say, I know. And guess what? I'm for me.
Yep.
I'm for me. You was high the whole trip. Camille, you over here being blackety black. Just start reading everybody in the room and just be like, I'm for me. I'm for self. And truth be told, David and Madison should have been the ones to give a middle finger to everybody in the retreat and left everybody there.
Yeah, they should have left instead of ruining everybody's time. Why I got to wake up and look at you while I'm eating my eggs?
And why I got to wake up with no cook?
Exactly.
The cook is gone. And now I wake up. I don't know what happened. I'm like, where Allan at? Allan sleeping in. Allan left. What happened last night? Well, this whole thing happened. Now somebody got to get hands put on him because the cook is gone. Go ahead. Continue on, Blair.
So Camille says that David is thinking that this could be something. He's already lied so much, and that's not a text just for a crush.
That's facts.
Madison tells them if she received it, she would have said, what are you doing? We're not at that level. She tells them that she's not a bad person, and she understands if they're disappointed. Karla, with her foot on that girl's neck, says there is a million men in the world. We were each other's safety net, and she thought it was genuine. Going forward, Karla doesn't want to be involved in whatever hoe activities Madison got going on. She didn't say that. That's what I said. She wouldn't want to surround herself with women who would cross that boundary.
Listen here. For Karla to say this is actually telling, because I think Karla, if you go back and look at our after party reviews, I don't think Karla particularly bangs with Michelle either. Right? But I think there was a level of, girl, you almost got the griminess on me.
Yes.
like I don't bang with Michelle. But if everything is actual based on how Karla reacted and basically she had no idea, it will give off the impression that I did have an idea, because Juan, he works out with them two all the time. Yeah. He works out with David and Madison all the time, right? Karla be hanging out with Madison all the time. So it does give off the impression of why I would ask, or why Blair would ask, did they know? And she's like, wait a minute, I am a sage queen, and I don't like that bad energy and things of that nature. So I can understand why Karla's like, I gotta make a boundary now, even though I may not like Michelle. And the reason why I say I feel like Karla don't really care for Michelle, because during the after party, Karla did say to Michelle's face, right, of don't try to act like you like David. You wasn't treating David nice or anything like that, multiple times. She said that one time in her face in the earlier episodes of the after party. She said, oh my goodness, I did not know Michelle could act like this. Like, this is really bad. So I don't think she's very fond of Michelle, but I think she made a good point of saying, hey, don't start this whole diatribe of basically like we just started off as friends. No, we all started off as friends because we were each other's safety net in this whole weird experience of marrying someone at first sight. That's why we all went on honeymoons together. Yeah. So don't start the whole like it started off as a friendship. We all started as a friendship. But you don't see me over here talking to Thomas. You don't see me over here talking to anybody else. So I can agree with Karla with breaking that safety net and boundary.
And I'm glad that Karla gave it to her straight. Somebody had to tell her. Yeah. I mean, because Madison is thinking that she could explain away the activities that she was doing. And Karla is just like, this is nasty and I want no part. Yeah. Like, girl, no. Like, I'm glad that Karla gave it to her because everybody else pretty much was just done with her. Yeah. Like, somebody needed to tell Madison, you're wrong. Yeah. You're absolutely wrong. Madison tells David that she's leaving. She knows that she needs to have a conversation with Allan. He needs to see her side. She didn't go out of her way to do something spiteful.
What?
This is the gymnastics.
She's a terrible villain, and it's making me angry. Like,
every
it really
time
is.
She says that they need to see my side. This is hard for me. They need it. Do you know you put yourself in this situation, girl? Do you? I don't think she does. I don't know. She must think something happened to her. She just fell into. Let me not say that. She fell into the D. Anyway, so Allan came back to get his car and his spices.
I would have been so happy if I would have saw Allan come back. I would have been like, bro, you back? He'd be like, I'm coming back to get my spices in my car. What? Can you at least cook something like just something on the go? Do you have something already prepared?
We're gonna play basketball later. You want to get the grill up?
No,
and,
something like come on, listen. Madison's leaving. She's gone. Like come on, bro. Look, I'll say this, right? Yeah. Allan came back for his car, 100%. I think he came in the house to get his 5 spices just to see what's Madison there, in my opinion, right? Because spices don't cost that much. He has a Jaguar. My wife over here trying to convince me, like, in this economy, no, he has a Jaguar.
Eggs and spices are expensive in this economy.
He has a Jaguar. He can afford to rebuy those spices. You know what I'm saying? Unless those are special spices that you must have got from other places or that you created that I can understand. But I think he really came in on the whole, I left my watch, or like I left a shoestring. Let me just go in here. Where's Madison? You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Well, Karla and Camille check on Allan. Yeah. Allan knew that it shouldn't have had to be that hard to make things work since day one.
That's true.
If it's been going on for a couple of weeks, like, he's been having conversations and doing things for the relationship this whole time.
That's
like,
true.
Why would she just not say something? Karla says, well, next time, it sounds like you had the instincts. Maybe listen to them next time and don't romanticize what's in front of you.
Stop right there. So with Karla, when I say it's Chris. You treating like you come off as if you don't listen to DV victims. Wait a minute, right? Maybe I didn't say it with the sage and the long. Well, I have long hair, but maybe I didn't say it like Karla. Karla basically said it been in front of your face the whole time. It's written all over your face. You ain't gotta say a word the whole time, right? Yeah. Don't ignore it. So in this way, Karla is basically saying what I said and what Blair said, right? Don't pity him. Right? Don't pick him up and burp him. Basically say, Allan, you knew this. You saw this coming. Next time, baby, don't ignore it. Yeah. Don't willfully, on purpose, be blind. Yeah. Because it's one thing for Michelle to be, because Michelle was caught off guard. I can say Michelle was caught off guard. Even though we want to give Michelle respect for being a detective, truth be told, if she never got that text, she'd probably still be turning the corner on the marriage. Who knows, right? Who knows, right? But she got the text, right? Whole time when it comes to Allan had enough to see in front of his face. And Karla's basically said what we all are saying. Don't ignore it. Yeah. Don't be a fool, And
Allan admits that he was doing that.
See?
They would have conversations. She dangled a carrot of hope in front of him, saying that she would leave if she didn't want to be there. So that's what he chose to hang on to.
See?
Allan doesn't want to speak to Madison. He doesn't need any answers. He doesn't care. He knows his worth. He doesn't deserve to be lied to and strung along. It was handled disgustingly.
Facts, Allan, and I agree with you, brother.
Juan tells him that he handled himself well, hold your ground and be the better man. It's not worth it. Allan says that they'd have an argument. She would say that she's gonna make a call. She'd be gone for 4 to 5 hours, and he says that your mind just spirals of all the possibilities of what could have been happening during that time.
Yeah.
Allan wouldn't put the intimacy past them. He thought of David as a friend. Thomas can't be Team David. He says, we're here to be married. Thomas at this point is Team Michelle.
Okay.
Allan asks if they slept in the same room. Juan and Thomas don't know, but they don't think so. They didn't. David was on the couch. But Allan, you said you don't care. Go leave with your beautiful car and your spices and your nice jacket,
But he can't help it.
Yeah, but he says he is still hurt, and it's just going to take him some time to process it because he did develop real feelings for the girl.
But listen to what he said, though. He said revenge body on deck and things like that. And I'm just like, yes and no, right? I have no problem with you taking that energy of going to the gym and working on yourself, but don't work on yourself to show this is what you missed.
Because Madison don't care.
Madison don't care.
She don't.
Madison's lying to us on camera talking about I'm not a bad person and things like that. She's lying to us, right? She don't care if we view her as a good person or a bad person. She's just doing it for the camera. So now it's time to actually do things for Allan. And I know in some cases and maybe in some situations you may not feel like you deserve it, but in every situation, no matter if you did something bad, good, Allan, and things of that nature, you deserve to serve yourself first. So if you're going to go get this body, go to the gym, make more money and things of that nature, basically take all that energy and focus it on a task, do it for you first because you are the number one priority.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
So David tells everyone goodbye. Karla is eating, looking him up and down. Kind of being like, don't come this way, don't touch me. And David says sometimes stuff just happens, and Karla says this was supposed to be a safe place and trust was broken.
Yeah.
Michelle, everybody leaves the retreat.
Yeah.
Michelle calls Pastor Cal. Oh, not everybody, just David. Sorry. Michelle calls Pastor Cal. Okay. She fills him in on everything that happened. Pastor Cal tells her he's sorry. She didn't deserve this, no matter what her process as far as getting to where she needed to be as far as actually being happily married was. If someone is unhappy, they just need to have a divorce, but don't stay in a marriage and cheat, especially with someone else's wife.
Yeah.
Pastor Cal said that it was disturbing that they couldn't stick with their commitments. They committed to an 8-week marriage. This was not a lifetime. 8 weeks. It's an incredible lack of integrity, and he can't wait to talk to Madison and David.
Here's the thing about it, right? I never seen Michelle make a call to the experts about her own marriage then to tell on David, right? Not one time, right? During this whole process, she has been running away from her responsibilities as a wife, even though she was married. She was running away from the process. You heard Pastor Cal during the conversation. He said, you did not deserve this, even though it took you a long time to hop on the process, to get on with the program.
Because we noticed.
Because we noticed that
your adjustment period.
That even though that you was married since day one and you feel betrayed, we noticed that you wasn't on program when it comes to being a wife. Dr. Pia had to come and bring the iPad from the office to show you your whole matchmaking thing of what you wanted to show that, hey, get on board with this. So we're not going to excuse you of you basically delaying the process, but we will also come to your aid saying you didn't deserve this though, right? And truth be told, I can agree with that. Listen, I am not a fan of Michelle. I never was a fan of Michelle. But if you go back to previous episodes, you will hear me defend Michelle against who? The experts, right? Because I believe that everything that Michelle asked for in the whole matchmaking process, it is not David. Right? Even when it comes to a whole like, hey, I don't want like a white man. I want me like a man of color and things like that. Light-skinned man, actually. Not too much color. Just give me a little dark white. You get what I'm saying? And the whole thing about it is David is not that. David is not the type of guy that she was thinking, right?
No.
Like, so that's why I'm like, even giving her that when it comes to, we gave you a guy of color, you knew what she meant, right? Because she even said it. I think she thinks that Travis Kelsey is light-skinned black. He's not. He's white. But she's basically thinking somebody on the terms of Drake. You get what I'm saying? That's why she used the word Drake and say, like, yeah, style like Drake. So even when it came to who she was paired with, the experts did her wrong from the jump. hard stop, right? Then we move on to her actually being in the marriage. Okay, you know they did you wrong. Can you at least treat this person with decency? We knew David was a bum. I called David a bum the minute he told her that he smokes, that he sleeps in his mama's basement and things of that nature.
Especially that he smokes and his mom is a cancer survivor.
It's like,
goodness gracious.
Like it makes no sense. So we knew David was immature. On his birthday, I think he got married on his birthday. He got a gift of hot Cheetos. He's a grown man. He could buy his own hot Cheetos. You get what I'm saying? So we knew David was immature, but we knew at the end of the process that they was going to say no, that all she had to do was just survive the process and actually keep her character clean, because we knew David was lying the whole time.
Yep. So Juan, Karla, Camille, and Thomas play basketball before they head out.
Yeah.
Allan goes to Michelle's apartment. They catch up on what happened after the blow up.
Yeah.
Things have been developing between Madison and David for weeks, and looking back, everything is suspicious. And they show us the clips, do they? Madison's sexy speech looking at David when she said something about looking the girls up the skirt. Allan home the first night by himself. David saying he was working on legs with Madison, being sore. David talking about eating tacos. Madison talking about liking tacos after sex. Madison and David both not coming home until 3 a.m. per the home camera footage.
Yeah, both of them come home exactly the same time.
At the same time, multiple nights. They had no remorse.
Yeah.
Madison actually texted Allan. She told him that she's sorry for hurting him. It wasn't her intention. She hopes that he's open to hear her. And Allan told her, don't message me. Your words hold no value.
Facts. I like that, Allan.
Michelle expected that from David, but Madison was pretending to be a friend, so that's what hurt her more.
Here's the thing about it. You did not expect this from David because you knew David was lying about his life. Don't get it twisted. The minute that he said that the apartment down, everything went downhill the minute that she saw that apartment, right? Because first of all, there's no good way to say that I live in my mama's basement. There's no way. David didn't even call it that when he was first describing it. He was like, it's like my own place. You know, I don't even go upstairs. I'm like, you're trying so hard to try to detach the basement from the main floor, but it's attached. You get what I'm saying? So he was trying to make it seem like I basically got my own place. I don't see my parents. But when Michelle saw that apartment, it was game over from there. I think from that moment, she could say everything out of David's mouth is a lie.
Yep.
Even at that moment, even though she could say David is a liar, I still don't think she had cheater on the board. But you can attach cheater if he's lying and things like that, especially when she got the text and she heard the reasoning behind it, right? So it's like, I could see why she would feel more betrayed by Madison, because like I said, I lost my glasses and you're helping me look for them, but the whole time you stole them. You have them. So I can see it from that perspective. But Michelle is not no victim, and Michelle is not in the same boat as Allan. Allan is the one that was deceived 100%. 100%. She was given inklings of David's character when she starts seeing little things like, you say it was an apartment and things like that. Or I guess strangers come and do laundry in your apartment. Like, so she was given little inklings of like David lived in a fake reality. Yes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm glad that Michelle and Allan got a chance to talk and compare notes, to actually try to piece together when things happened. And honestly, everything points back to the honeymoon. And it doesn't help when David keeps saying it happened at the gym. It happened at the gym.
Yeah.
Y'all went to the gym on a honeymoon. So when did y'all start lying?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So moving on, Thomas and Camille are packing. It's unfortunate because they thought everyone was coming in with the right intentions. Thomas tells Camille, well, you know, you didn't break out the lingerie. You know, it was too much going on. They are both wearing matching pajamas, and everyone leaves the retreat house.
I understand they already having sex, but Camille, please wear that lingerie for Thomas. He been asking for this piece of lingerie since day 3 of the honeymoon.
And I'm gonna need her to not talk about it beforehand. Just pull it out or don't. Like, I don't know why you're dangling this in front of him. Like what does this do?
Yeah, look, I
just whip it out or don't.
Yeah,
so.
I guess. Look, I guess I can see it as dangling a carrot, but I'm like, we having sex. Yeah. So why are you not wearing it? Yeah. Like that lets me know Camille is not as freaky as she says she is. Like, cause my thing is, if we're already having sex and I haven't seen your wardrobe of sex wardrobes, I'm like, you're not as freaky as you say you is. You won't even sing for me. You get what I'm saying?
So Allan is packing up his stuff from the shared apartment.
Yeah.
rips up the wedding album, destroys Madison's vows, and breaks the Mrs. cut.
Oh, man.
It's possible that she was right upstairs or out with David while he was trying to stay up and wait for her to come home.
That's true.
He is going to leave this destruction, so when Madison comes back, she sees it.
Listen here. I see some people kind of overreacting to the whole Allan destroying the cup, destroying the vows, destroying the photo album, saying he's a psycho. Oh, my goodness. Listen, Allan's just emotional, right? Not psycho. He's emotional. So as a man, would I have done those things? No. But I will call him a psycho if he starts trashing the whole apartment, trashing her clothes, trashing her belongings. He's trashing their fake marriage stuff. I'm not going to put... I'm going to give him bail out of jail for this. You ain't got to put nothing on it. I'm going to get... Because I've been on Allan's behind the whole time. Allan, I'm going to bail you out, bro.
Okay.
Rip the book. You get what I'm saying? You know, I like the fact that he was ripping the book and then he placed it perfectly
so she could see
all
the pages.
You know,
ripped.
I'm gonna break the misses and I'm going to burn the vows. You get what I'm saying? And leave it all right there. The only thing about it is, you know, she's not going to clean it. You know, somebody got to come clean that stuff. But Allan, you have the right to be emotional as long as he didn't go in her closet, start cutting up her stuff, cutting off her bra straps, and now she ain't got no bras. It's like, Allan, just leave. I'm gonna get you right, brother. Okay?
Yeah, I didn't mind.
Yeah.
You know.
It is what it is.
That's fine.
It is what it is.
David meets up with his friend Tommy.
Okay.
David fills his friend in on what happened and why he finds Madison so attractive. His friend can see that David's happy and he hopes things work for him. He says on the treadmill, she would tell him that she didn't want him to go back to his old ways. He was, I guess, very arrogant when he was younger. She saw who he was as a person. He can see himself being married to her, but he doesn't want to press the situation and ruin it. And the friend says that you still have to let Michelle know how you feel, but you should definitely pursue things with Madison.
Ooh.
Birds of a feather, boy.
It's not even that. Like,
honestly, what I think it is the friend is probably just like, this whole thing is like BS pretty much. I think he probably doesn't take Married at First Sight seriously.
Yeah.
Even though it was a real marriage. I think he's just like, you don't know none of these people. So I guess
Facts.
do whatever you want to do. So
my thing is, like, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Besides pursue the girl that you cheated with. Like,
I still think he should have hold him accountable to be like, oh, so you messing with another dude's wife?
Nah.
That's weird.
No, listen here. This is boy, right? And he's not. Karla can hold Madison accountable because they not really friends. They are acquaintances, you know, friends by experience. But it's his boy. He's probably looking at it like, for one, I told you not to sign up for the show. This is weird. And then he's looking at it like what, like, there ain't no point in losing two girls. Like, you already cheated with one girl and you said you like her, right? You should have been telling me that the other girl was treating you mean and things like that. Those may be reasons, and those reasons may be valid, but those are not excuses. Those are two different things, right? But he's probably looking at it like, yo, just go ahead and like pursue the other girl. See where that leads.
Yeah,
you get
and
what
I'm
saying?
just over David talking about he want to marry her. He could see himself with
that's
her and all
weird.
this type of stuff. I'm just like, I guess, David, but I don't even think you're ready for marriage.
No,
I
he's
mean,
not.
you guys are just some impulsive people, like crazy. So Madison comes to the shared apartment and sees the destruction Allan left for her.
Yeah.
She packs up her stuff. She's anxious. She feels like she should have explained everything to him first, but she didn't have the courage to say it out loud to him. Madison calls her friend Amanda, who I guess is a real person.
Amanda exists, Blair.
Tells her that he wrecked their wedding stuff, and Amanda says that it's psycho behavior and he went too far.
No, you didn't.
He could have went further.
No, trust me. Your stuff could have been in a tub of bleach. Okay?
Absolutely.
Like, trust me. He did not go too far.
And Madison didn't want him to feel this hurt. She can't explain her side if he doesn't talk to her.
Why you want to explain your side? That's the thing I don't understand. You're the villain.
There's no side to explain.
No.
Amanda tells her to ask him to have an on or off camera conversation and speak to, like, she was like, and I want to speak to you. You know, you are my husband. I am your wife.
So we got two
What
friends.
is that supposed to mean? Like,
we got two friends giving the worst advice ever.
Madison knows that she should have been honest earlier, but no one knows what it feels like to be in her position.
So you think Allan is going to say, if Madison was to call him, first of all, if she ain't blocked already, hey, okay, Allan, I know I disrespected the marriage, but just listen to me as your wife.
What sense does that make?
That makes no sense, Amanda. You get what I'm saying? like. So, Amanda, and this is why I say I don't really take what Tommy says seriously to David, because if it's your friend, you're gonna give dumb advice to your friend. Like I'm gonna be on my friend's side. So Tommy's on David's side, Amanda's on basically Madison's side, saying, "Oh my goodness, that's psycho behavior," and just have a conversation with him. Why do you need to have a conversation? Allan already told you what he expects from you, and that's nothing. He said, "Don't talk to me, don't say nothing to me. I don't want to see you." So why are you in a? I would think as a villain, you'd be like, "Cool."
But the thing is, I think that she just feels bad that she got caught. I do think that she feels bad that she's coming across this way on camera because she was very careful about how she was acting, what she was saying to Allan. So I think that she more so doesn't want to come across as a bad person. So she wants Allan to tell her, "Oh, you're good, we're good," so that way she can feel better. But feel bad.
No.
Feel as you should.
Don't
for what you've done. You know what I'm saying? Feel bad.
I don't even agree with Blair. Don't feel bad. Just live in your truth.
Nah, I feel bad.
Your truth is you cheated on your husband on Married at First Sight with another husband that's on Married at First Sight named David. You had no bad feelings when you were sneaking out. You had no bad feelings when you didn't come home from the first night in the apartments. You had no bad feelings when you was lying to him. You had no bad feelings when you told David to tell him. You had no bad feelings at all doing all this.
I want to add one to the list.
Go
you
ahead.
had no bad feelings when he was buying all these clothes and with the Invisalign and you sitting there mute.
So I'm like, why feel bad now?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, don't feel bad. Live in your decision. And that's what we need to start telling people this. Because truth be told, the only reason why she wants to talk to Allan, because she know that she can gaslight him and manipulate and kind of dangle a carrot in front of him and basically control his emotions that she was doing this whole time. No. The best way to get away from those type of people, those type of narcissist type of people that have those type of tendencies is you can't talk to them.
Yeah.
Because they know how to twist their words. They know how to twist your emotions and get you all riled up. And then next thing you know, you feeling sorry for her when she cheated on you.
Yeah.
It's like, don't talk to her. No, feel good about your decision, Madison, because you felt good before you got caught. So don't miss me with all this feel bad about it. I ain't with it.
So we take a break from Madison and David to get into MM and Ikechi.
Hello, MM.
So MM arrives first to meet the expert. She's feeling good. She tried her hardest and tried to give him what he needed, but it was a moving end goal. He tried to tear her down emotionally. In the beginning, she gave it more weight than she should have. Pastor Cal asks what she wishes for, and she says, "Well, my mom wishes him peace, but I wish the worst for him." Ikechi comes in. He sits down and gives MM the side eye. Ikechi says, them not knowing each other enough and that discovery period is pretty much when everything went awry.
Now, stop right there, right? You have to understand that even in front of the experts, you have to think about it. He's not in front of Dr. Pia. He's not in front of Pastor Cal by himself. This is now meeting in front of the board of Married at First Sight. Now you're in trouble because we got Dr. Pepper out the bed, right? And she was leading the conversation, right? So I would think that you are in front of the experts, that you will at least show some type of decorum or at least some type of fakery of at least speaking to MM, right? He comes in and give her the side eye as if she's the reason for where they are right now.
Yeah.
And he don't even give her the decency of basically speaking, of saying hello. It's weird.
It's because he thinks he's the victim. He thinks she really did something to him.
It's weird behavior. But go ahead.
So so there was genuine like in the beginning. Events that happened ended up deterring the like.
It wasn't.
Dr. Pepper says, "So you brought a divorce paper to the retreat. Like, what was that about?" And Mim chimes in and says that he wanted to embarrass her.
Facts.
Ikechi says that he didn't come for that, and Mim tells him it's BS. You should be ashamed of yourself. Pastor Cal jumps in and says this isn't a healthy way to communicate. Ikechi apologizes, and he apologizes, and now she's saying that it's BS. Being in this marriage is tiring. Pastor Cal says, I don't have the luxury of leaving whenever there's pressure as a married man, because Ikechi's talking about he want to get up and go right now. Yeah. Ikechi finally verbalizes to the experts that he does not want to continue in the marriage. Yeah. MM will like a divorce as well, but she wrote a letter to her departed. She tells him, "You've been unstable. Your reality is not based in fact. I'm God's favorite, and my well wishes won't get you anywhere further in life. Whoa. I wish you nothing but the worst." She provided a list of therapists for him and a proper way to complete a dissolution of marriage.
No, snap. It was a poem, Blair.
It was a letter. But okay.
It was a poem. Okay. Cause that was poetry to me.
Yeah.
That was poetry to me. You don't clap at spoken word.
Oh, sorry.
You should get us thrown out.
All right.
You snap at it. Yes.
Yes,
The smooth jazz. Yes, I like it.
And Ketchy says, well, to the camera people, because Pastor Cal says, all right, you can leave now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, it's over now, yeah.
He tells them that you got a taste of what I'm talking about. He'd rather be old and single than in an unhappy marriage. Well, it looks like you're doing everything to get there.
Yeah.
So I hope you reach your goal.
Yeah, man.
So he leaves, and Dr. Pia tells Emem that was petty. And Emem says, someone had to say it.
I'm about to say, Dr. Pia, you wasn't going to say it.
Dr. Pia, you about to get a letter from me now.
Okay. Listen here, right?
I really like the fact that Emem gave him a list of therapists because not only was you wilding, but you need help for real. And these people in front of us ain't going to be able to do it.
Yeah, they ain't
and
gonna
the
do
thing is, Dr. Pia, somebody needed to say it because nobody was being real with this crazy
Nobody
man.
wasn't.
So.
And listen here. A lot, I could tell even when Emem was reading the letter, Dr. Pia was kind of looking like, this is too much, girl. Right? And let's say it is too much. Let's say, MM, you have a score of 100 points. And let's say this letter was your worst moment that you ever showed on the show. Let's just say it's the worst moment. I want to take away point 0.000000001 point then. Because at the end of the day, like, you don't go through what MM went through and basically get trashed, character is lied on, and the whole time he's gaslighting, talking about I ain't come up to the retreat to embarrass you with a paper. You get what I'm saying? Then what did you come up there for? Because you didn't come up there to retreat with us. So it's like, what other reason did you come up there for? So I've been lied to, and throughout all these lies, without all these feelings that was hurt, all I've been hearing from you, Dr. Pia, and Pastor Karla and Dr. Pepper, is ways to continue on in this marriage. That's all. Y'all did not give me an exit strategy. Y'all did not, like, y'all, it took literally the episode before the last episode for you to come up with some type of, do you want to continue, right? No one came to my aid. Now I come to my own aid. And guess what? Even with me coming to my own aid, I'm going to come to his aid and give him some therapists, right? And you may not like how I did it, but it had to be done. Because somebody got to let him know.
Yeah.
And truth be told, it was in that moment, I could tell Ketchy don't like being embarrassed. He looked like he was about to cry a little bit. And obviously, I wish he did. I wish he did, and I wouldn't have felt sorry for him.
Yeah. So, we're back to David and Madison.
Yeah.
It's their turn to meet up with the experts. So before Madison goes in, she gives us this diary.
Oh my gosh.
Madison hopes the experts won't berate her. She's not walking into this to be told that she did something wrong and that she's a bad person. She would like them to see things from her and David's side.
Why do you care if you're a bad person? Okay, sure. You do bad things. People got the right to think that you're a bad person if you do bad things. Yeah. Right? We can always look at things in a nuanced way and find good things about a bad person.
Absolutely.
But why do we want to do that? Like you chose to do something bad intentionally. And then you want us to basically see you as a good person? Why do you want that for me?
Yeah.
It's dumb, but go ahead.
So Dr. Pepper says, we're personally upset. It's important we get the truth as far as where and what happened.
Why are we upset? Because we are the matchmakers, not y'all.
David says their connection started in the gym. Madison caught feelings for him and she didn't know what to do. It was easier for them to just vibe with each other. They would confide in each other and exchange advice about their relationships. Mind y'all, that's the point of having the guys and the girls get-togethers. So that way you're not relying on other people's husbands and wives.
Yeah.
They built a friendship as well. Madison says this last week they've only communicated to make sure that they're both okay. They have not been hanging out with each other. You might as well.
I don't.
You might as well.
And you're probably lying. Who cares?
Pastor Cal asks, have you been intimate? David says no. The most they've done is a hug if you consider that intimate.
Okay, David. Goofy.
Goofy. So the text was about him shooting his shot, he says. Dr. Pia says she calls them out for lying about having a sexual relationship because y'all are lying to our faces. Pastor Cal says you guys were just gym buddies and you send that kind of text? Madison explained that there was flirtation. They didn't have sex because they were married. So where are your lines and boundaries, Madison? It's just very hard to follow. It's very hard to follow where your morals lie. Pastor Cal says, well, why should we believe you're being honest at this point? David says they can believe whatever they want. That's how you know David's lying.
I'm like, David, like, I don't understand this whole thing of, hey, you have to humble yourself to the people that you signed up on the show for.
But also, I'm like, why are you lying? You guys are going to do what you want to do anyway. So what's the point
It's
of
already
lying?
out. Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Pastor Cal tells them, have you guys realized that this could be a rebound emotion based off of what you were experiencing in your marriage of not getting what you wanted from your partners?
Mm-hmm.
Madison acknowledges that that's possible. That's not really something that she thought about. Sounds like a 20-something-year-old. Sounds like we don't need to have 20-something-year-olds on, on Married at First Sight of not realizing it was a rebound possibly.
She's 29.
And David is over here thinking that he about to marry the girl.
She's 29, so does she passed the threshold? She's 29.
Not this 29. Okay. Maybe another 29, but not this 29. Pastor Cal says that Madison didn't want a person of color in her interviews. We see the flashback, and she said that she would like to marry a white guy. She, is open to or has dated other people of color. And Dr. Pepper said, well, we're not going to experiment on that in this process. If you want to marry a white guy, we'll get you your white guy. Madison agrees. Pastor Cal tells her, that he wouldn't have a shot with you in the street if you didn't know him.
Wait a minute, Pastor Cal.
And Madison is like, I dated black guys before. And this day and age, you got to be careful about the word dated. Because dated can mean effing around. Okay? And Pastor Cal says, you wanted your husband to be white. And she says, that's fair. And the point he's making is that marriage wouldn't have even crossed your mind if you would have saw him in the street because you was not about to take a person of color home.
Wow. I mean, Pastor Cal is trying to paint her as the biggest racist. I mean, it's funny, but listen here. One thing that the experts is going to do is defend their reasons of why they match you with whoever they match you with. So when you take on the power of I'm gonna be matchmaker on a show that is about arranged marriages, they go play the tape, and the tape said, I don't want no black man or no person of color, right? So when Pastor Cal is basically saying, now, David, that if she was to see you on the street, she wouldn't have liked you because she said a black person or a person of color. You may not be black, but you fall in that whole spectrum of person of color. So I'm like, first of all, why are you, and I'm going to talk to Madison and David, why are you subjecting yourself to what Pastor Cal thinks? You're a villain. You should have been there and just been like, I like who I like. I would have went in there as Madison and David and blamed the expert for matching me with the people because I'm already wrong. And I would have went in there as Madison like, listen here, you matched me up with the wrong white guy. I had to do your job. And basically start a whole riot right there. Because be a good villain.
Yeah. I guess my thing is with David is you're sitting here listening to Pastor Cal say all of that, just smiling, giggling, laughing because, the blonde hair, blue eyed girl he always wanted liked him. I don't know if she got blue eyes or not, but she close enough. And he's saying that she would never look at you. And Madison is like, you know what, you're right. And also, David, she doesn't want anything serious with you. I don't think he really cares, but I don't know why he thinks that he's on this road to marriage with Madison.
But I for one, I don't think David wants to be married. Let's just start there, right?
That's fair.
Right? Also, this whole thing of this is what I don't understand of why they are subjecting themselves to the experts. This whole idea of he is not your type. A lot of people fall for people who are not their type. Hell, we went through the whole first part of the season of every couple basically saying to each other, you're not my type, right? So the whole idea of listening to Pastor Cal or everybody else saying that, hey, she wouldn't have liked you if she saw you on the street. And if I was David, I'm the villain. Do you know what you were supposed to say in that moment, David? Well, guess what? I'm the first one.
Okay.
Be the villain. I'm the first one. Let's continue on.
So Pastor Cal says that in marriage, you create boundaries. You go to your spouse with your feelings. We don't allow ourselves to go into those forbidden areas.
Yeah.
Did you value the marriage? Like, you went out of those boundaries. And David asked, was it even really a marriage? And Pastor Cal says, yes, it was a marriage.
It was a marriage.
You got married and you signed in documents. Yes, it was a marriage. Michelle was turning the corner, but by that time you had already developed an affinity for Madison. I don't know about
Pastor Cal,
corners
Pastor Cal.
Or back alleyways or whatever we talking about.
And
I don't know.
And that's the thing that's the only thing I hate about what David did. Yeah. Because it gives Michelle this whole reverse engineering of she was turning the corner. Yeah. Turn the corner where? She turned the corner every night on her own street when she went back home to her own apartment every night. Exactly. That's the only corner she turned. She wasn't turning no corner in this marriage. But go ahead.
So he tells them that there's a proper way to do things, and what do y'all plan to do? David says that he has heavy feelings for her. He's smitten with her. He's smiling and cheesing. And Madison doesn't want to rush into things. There's a lot that she still needs to learn about him. And the idea of it being a rebound, she didn't think about, but only time will tell.
The wrong thing to say. Dude, you know what was the right thing to say when Pastor Cal asks, what are y'all going to do?
Tell me.
They should have said, well, do y'all got any more of those weddings left? Can't like we get married on the show?
Yeah.
Be the villain.
Gotcha.
Be memorable. You get what I'm saying? Like the whole idea of basically saying, well, I don't know what we're gonna do. It's just like, yo, we don't want to be married to the people that y'all put us with, and we are gonna do whatever we want to do.
And my thing is, don't be a coward about it.
That's what I'm saying.
If you really have feelings for this person and it's something that you want to explore, then be bold about it, you know? And I also feel like, you know, at this point, you guys lied your whole way through this thing. Mm-hmm. So what are we still lying for? Like, it's just cringy at this point. No sense. So that's all I got.
Anything else? Subscribe, like, share, comment. We see y'all next week.
Bye.